Welcome to Dreamy Tales English. I'm David. Tonight, we have a special story for you. It's called The Bamboo Flute Player of Mount Emei. Mount Emei is one of the 4 sacred Buddhist mountains of China, rising nearly 3,000 meters above the Sichuan Basin. Its peaks are shrouded in clouds for much of the year, and its forests are filled with monkeys, deer, and birds whose songs have been heard by pilgrims for over 1,000 years. At the summit, the golden summit glows in the morning sun like a mirror made of gold, reflecting the sky and the clouds and the people who climb to see it. But the most famous thing about Mount Emei is not the temples or the monkeys or the golden summit. It is the bamboo. The mountain is covered in bamboo forests. Miles and miles of tall, slender stalks that sway in the wind and make the softest sound when the breeze passes through them. It sounds like music, quiet, gentle, and endless, like a lullaby sung by the earth itself. Lin was 42 years old when he climbed Mount Emei for the first time in 20 years. He had left the mountain as a young monk at the age of 20, having spent his childhood in a small village at the foot of the peak. He had joined the temple to study Buddhism, to learn meditation, and to find peace. But after 5 years, he had left, not because he had found peace, but because he had not. He had returned to the world, taken a job in finance, married a woman he barely knew, and lived a life that looked successful from the outside, but felt empty from within. He had accumulated wealth, but he had lost his soul. He had gained status, but he had lost his silence. One winter morning, after his wife had left him and taken their daughter with her, Lin drove to the train station and bought a ticket to Emei, the town at the foot of the mountain. He did not know why he was going. He only knew that he could not stay in the city any longer. He arrived on a foggy December morning. The mountain was hidden in white. He could not see the peaks, the temples, or the sky. He could only hear the wind moving through the bamboo, making that soft, endless sound that he had not heard in 20 years. He walked up the mountain path in silence, his hands in his pockets, his breath visible in the cold air. The path was steep and winding, lined with stone steps worn smooth by centuries of pilgrims' feet. Along the way, he passed small temples and shrines, each one decorated with red lanterns and incense sticks that burned in bronze bowls. The smoke rose into the fog like prayers ascending to heaven. After 2 hours of walking, he reached the Wanfo Pu Temple, the 10,000 Buddhist temple, perched on a cliff halfway up the mountain. It was a small, ancient temple founded over 1,000 years ago, and it was home to a single monk named Master Hongi, who was in his 90s and had not left the mountain in 60 years. Master Hongi was sitting on a wooden bench outside the temple gate, playing a bamboo flute. The music was simple, just a few notes repeated over and over. But it was beautiful in its simplicity, like a child's drawing that captures more truth than a master painter's portrait. Lin stopped and listened. He had not played the flute since he was a boy, back when he lived in the village at the foot of the mountain, and his grandfather had taught him how to carve a piece of bamboo into a music instrument. When the music stopped, Master Hongi looked up and smiled. "You like the flute? I used to play," Lin said, "a long time ago." "Then come in. I have a flute that might fit your hands." Lin followed the old monk into the temple. Inside, the air smelled of incense and old wood. The walls were covered with paintings of Buddha and Bodhisattvas, their faces serene and peaceful. In the center of the main hall sat a large statue of the Buddha, golden and radiant, its eyes closed in eternal meditation. Master Hongi led Lin to a small room at the back of the temple. On a shelf in the corner were dozens of bamboo flutes, some new, some old, some carved with dragons, and others with simple characters. He picked one out, examined it closely, and handed it to Lin. "Try this one," he said. Lin lifted the flute to his lips and blew. The note that came out was thin and wavering, like a bird struggling to fly. He adjusted his fingers, blew again, and the note improved, clearer, steadier, more confident. He played for a long time. The notes were not perfect, but they were honest. And in that honesty, Lin felt something he had not felt in 20 years: relief. When he put the flute down, Master Hongyi was watching him with a gentle smile. "You carry a heavy heart," he said. Lin nodded. "I lost my family. I lost my purpose. I lost myself." Master Hongyi nodded slowly. "The flute does not make the music. The bamboo does. The flute is just a vessel, a way for the bamboo to speak. You are the same. You are not your problems. You are the vessel through which life speaks." Lin looked at the flute in his hands. It was made of a single piece of bamboo, carved and polished by Master Hongyi's own hands. It was simple and unadorned, but it was beautiful in its simplicity. "Stay," Master Hongyi said. "Not as a monk, not as a student, just as a man who needs to listen to the bamboo." And so Lin stayed. Every morning, he woke before dawn, swept the temple steps, and sat on the wooden bench outside the gate. Every morning, Master Hongyi played the flute, and every morning, Lin listened. Over time, he began to play too, slowly at first, then more confidently, until the two of them were playing together, their music rising into the fog like a prayer. Every afternoon, he walked the mountain trails, through the bamboo forests, past the temples, up to the golden summit where the clouds parted and the sun poured gold over the world below. He saw monkeys swinging from the branches, deer grazing in the meadows, and pilgrims climbing the stone steps on their knees. Every evening, he sat by the temple fire, warming his hands and watching the flames dance. And every night, when the fog cleared and the stars appeared, he lay on the wooden floor of his small room and listened to the wind moving through the bamboo, that soft, endless sound that had been calling to him for 20 years. One night, as Lin lay on the floor listening to the bamboo, he realized something. He was not lonely anymore. He was alone, yes, but he was not lonely. There was a difference. Alone meant being by yourself. Lonely meant wanting to be somewhere else. And Lin was exactly where he wanted to be. The next morning, he woke early and walked to the bamboo forest at the edge of the mountain. He found a tall, straight stalk of bamboo, cut it with a small knife, and carried it back to the temple. Master Hongyi was sitting on the bench, playing the flute. He looked up as Lin approached and smiled. "You want to make a flute?" he asked. "Yes," Lin said. Master Hongyi nodded. "Then sit. I will teach you." And so Lin learned to carve bamboo into a flute, from selecting the right stalk, to drying in the sun, to drilling the holes and polishing the surface. It took him 3 weeks. But when he finally held the finished flute in his hands and blew the first note, he knew he had made something more than an instrument. He had made a piece of himself. He played it every day from then on the bench, on the trail, by the fire under the stars. And every note reminded him of something Master Hongyi had told him. The bamboo does not try to be a flute. It simply is. And in being itself, it becomes music. 6 months later, Lin left Mount Emei. He did not return to the city. He did not go back to finance. Instead, he opened a small music school in Emei Shan town, a school where children from the village could come and learn to play the bamboo flute, to listen to the wind, and to find their own music in the world. Every evening, as he sat by the fire playing his flute, He thought of Master Hongyi and the words he had spoken on the mountain. "You are not your problems. You are the vessel through which life speaks." And in that simple sentence, Lin found the peace he had been searching for, not in a temple, not in a meditation cushion, but in the sound of bamboo singing in the wind. Good night and sweet dreams.